This conference will now be recorded.
So today topic liver. So this is the largest gland of the body. It has both exocrine and endocrine parts involved in metabolic activities, highly vascular organ and reddish brown in color and moves with the respiration. So one word we can say this is the largest gland in the body. Now shape and situations. So what is the shape of the liver? You know it. What is the shape?
Wedge.
What is the shape? Wedge shaped. And situation. So right hypochondrium, this one, epigastrium, this region with the arrow I'm showing, and left hypochondrium. So these are the regions. So right and left hypochondrium and epigastric region. So these are the this is the location of the liver. Now these are the measurements of the liver, the weight. Okay, we can say in this slide we can highlight in fetal life it occupies 2/5 of the abdomen. In children the liver is in large size, so this point we can highlight. So in fetal life it occupies 2/5 of the abdomen. So in this picture we can see. Now we come to the presenting parts of the liver. So it has the surfaces, borders and lobes. Surfaces are two types, parietal and visceral surface. So parietal means these surfaces are related to structures of the body wall. So visceral surface means this surface is related to other viscera of the abdomen. So these are the borders you can see here, posterior superior, posterior inferior and inferior, three borders. And lobes are two types, anatomical lobes and physiological lobes. So out of all this, if you see the parietal lobes, parietal surfaces, these are superior, right lateral, anterior, posterior. So we include the visceral surface, that is the inferior. Totally there are 5 surfaces in the liver. So superior, right lateral, anterior, posterior and inferior. There are 5 surfaces and borders are 3. Out of these 3 borders, inferior border is sharp and prominent. Okay, so we see the presenting parts one by one. You see, first of all, we see the surfaces of the liver. First surface is superior surface. So you see in this picture with the arrow, I'm showing the superior surface. This one is the superior surface, first surface. So this superior surface, convexo, concavo, convex. You see, convex, concave and convex. This is the superior surface. So middle, you can see that the depression that is related to the cardiac impression, this middle part. And this surface is related to diaphragm, base of lungs, heart with the fibrous pericardium. So right and left domes of the diaphragm, fibrous pericardium, and above the diaphragm we can see relations of the lung. Okay, so this is about the superior surface. And the most important point regarding this surface, that one is the fibrous pericardium, central tendon of diaphragm and the non-secretory part of liver. So that means non-secretory part means connective tissue of liver. That is the connective tissue of liver. These are developed from the septum transversum. So this is the oral question regarding the superior surface, fibrous pericardium of the heart, central tendon of diaphragm, connective tissue of liver or secretory part of liver. These three structures are developed from the common source. That one is called septum transversum. So this is about the superior surface. Now we come to the right lateral surface. See the importance of right lateral surface. We can collect the liver biopsy from the right lateral surface. So collection of the biopsy of the liver through the right lateral surface. That is the importance of the right lateral surface. So if you see right lateral surface in this picture with the arrow, I'm showing this right lateral surface. This one, I'm showing the right lateral surface. So usually it forms the base of the liver. This part usually it forms the base of the liver, and it is related to right part of the diaphragm, 7th to 11th ribs on the right side, 7th to 11th ribs, right side. So between the ribs and diaphragm, the most important structures: upper part, lower border of the right lung, middle part, costodiaphragmatic recess, and lower part, 10th to 11th rib, 10th to 11th rib. So these are the relations of the right lateral surface. So these relations are very, very important, because if you want to pass the needle for the collection of the biopsy of the liver, so you should pass the needle through the 9th or 10th intercostal space. So that means 9th or 10th intercostal space means they present below the corresponding ribs. So if you pass the needle through the 10th intercostal space, so in that condition, okay, we cannot damage the most important upper structures. That means pleura, and also this one is the lung. So this is about the right lateral surface and its relations. Then anterior surface. So the shape of the anterior surface is triangular. You can see the anterior surface triangular in shape. Okay, and anterior surface usually it is related to falciform ligament. That ligament, it separates the liver into right and left anatomical lobes. Okay, usually this anterior surface usually is related to the left costal margins, right and left costal margins, and comes in contact with the xiphoid process and diaphragm. So simply we can say anterior surface is related to the right and left costal margins. This is the anterior surface. So what is the importance of the anterior surface? Normally the liver should not extend beyond the right costal margin. So in normal condition, liver, it should not extend beyond the right costal margin. If it is extending beyond the right costal margin, that is abnormal condition. That is called hepatomegaly. That means enlargement of the liver. So this is the anterior surface. Now we come to the posterior surface. So it present between the posterior superior and posterior inferior surfaces. That means borders. So this posterior surface is presenting the following borders: the bare area of the liver, groove for the inferior vena cava, caudate lobe, fissure for ligamentum venosum, groove for esophagus. So these are the features of the posterior surface. Once again, bare area of the liver, groove for inferior vena cava, caudate lobe, fissure for ligamentum venosum, and groove for esophagus. So in this picture, we can see the posterior surface. So here with the arrow, I'm showing the posterior superior border, this one, from right to left side, posterior superior border, and below we can see posterior inferior border, this one, posterior inferior border. In between them, whatever you see, this one is the posterior surface. So here in this picture, we identify the posterior surface features. So this is the triangular area, whatever you see, this one is the bare area of the liver, number one. Number two, inferior vena cava it's with groove. So this is the inferior vena cava with its groove. Number 2. And number 3, caudate lobe of liver. See here labeling, caudate lobe of liver, number 3. And number 4, here you see the fissure for ligamentum venosum, this one. And number 5, here groove for esophagus. So these are the presenting parts of the bare area of the liver. So bare area of the liver, this is the short notes question from the liver, very important. So you know the boundaries of the bare area of the liver and also clinical importance of the liver. So what is the clinical importance of the liver here? So this is the site of the anastomosis between portal and systemic veins. So this is the one of the porta-caval anastomosis, this bare area of liver. That is the clinical importance. Now we come to the boundaries of the bare area of the liver. So bare area of the liver, what is the shape of the bare area of the liver? What is the shape of the bare area of liver? Say loudly. Triangular in shape. Very good. Okay. So it present on the posterior surface of the right lobe of liver, triangular in shape. So we see the boundaries. So base of the bare area of the liver is formed by groove for inferior vena cava. Base is formed by groove for inferior vena cava, and apex is formed by right triangular ligament. This is the apex, and above you see the line, and below you see the another line. So above and below is bounded by superior and inferior coronary ligaments. That means the superior, inferior layers of the coronary ligaments. Once again, I repeat the boundaries of the bare area of liver. Base is formed by groove for the inferior vena cava. Apex is formed by right triangular ligament. Above and below is bounded by superior and inferior layers of the coronary ligament. So these are the bare area boundaries. And the clinical importance of the bare area of liver, you know it. So this is the site of the anastomosis between portal and systemic veins. Very important. Next, we come to the termination of hepatic veins into the IVC are important factors keep the liver in position. So in the posterior surface, I told you totally 5 features. So we completed bare area of the liver, first feature, and we come to the second feature, that is the inferior vena cava. So this inferior vena cava is grooving the posterior surface of the liver. So if you see the interior of this IVC, so in this interior we can find the openings of the hepatic veins. So these hepatic veins in the IVC are important factors keep the liver in position. Very important. So these openings, they keep the liver in the anatomical position. That is about the IVC. Okay. Now we come to the third feature of the posterior surface. This one with the arrow I am showing. This is called caudate lobe of liver. So caudate lobe of liver is the only part of the liver which is covered with the peritoneum of lesser sac. So entire liver is covered with the greater sac except the caudate lobe, which is covered by the peritoneum of lesser sac. This is oral question, first point. And obviously this caudate process forms the floor of the epiploic foramen. This forms the floor of the epiploic foramen. So you know the boundaries of the epiploic foramen, above caudate lobe and below first part of duodenum. Okay, these are the main boundaries, and right in front right free margin of the lesser omentum, behind IVC. So caudate lobe, it forms the boundary of the epiploic foramen. So this is about the caudate lobe, third feature of the posterior surface. Now we come to the fissure for ligamentum venosum. So this one, fourth feature of the posterior surface, fissure for ligamentum venosum, and it contains the ligamentum venosum, which is the remnant of the ductus venosus. which is remnant of the ductus venosus, which contains the ligamentum venosum. Here we can see it. So in the another picture, we can see that ligamentum. So you see this picture. This is the fetal circulation. I think you are aware of this picture, fetal circulation. So in this picture, we can see here ductus venosus. We can see the one labeling here, ductus venosus, which connects the portal vein, with the IVC. This is the bypass blood channel. In the adult, this ductus venosus, okay, obliterated to form the ligamentum venosum. Ligamentum venosum. That is the posterior surface of the liver. Now we come to the visceral or inferior surface of the liver. So these are the features we can see on the visceral or inferior surface of the liver. So visceral surface of the liver itself, this is the short notes question, 5 marks question, and practical exams also usually examiner ask you impressions on the visceral surface of the liver. So these are the features we can see on the visceral or inferior surface of the liver. So what are the features from first one? That is the gastric impression, tuber omental, fissure per ligamentum teres, quadrate lobe, porta hepatis, caudate and papillary processes, fossa for the gallbladder, duodenal impression, colic impression, and renal impression. So these are the impressions or features on the inferior surface of the liver. In the picture, we see these features. Okay, whatever you see, this the entire one is the inferior surface of the liver. This one with the impressions. So here, first group for esophagus, and this one is the cardiac impression, and this is the first part of duodenum. Here, second part of duodenum, and this impression for the colic flexure, hepatic flexure. So right side, and this is the renal impression, and also we can see the tuber omental. This one here, this part is the tuber omental. So mainly we can see the impressions for the other viscera of the abdomen in order. I'm telling here, you listen. This one esophagus, stomach, first part of duodenum, second part of duodenum. This is the colic, right colic flexure, and this is the renal. This is the porta hepatis, and this one is the tuber omental. This elevation is called tuber omental. So these are the impressions and the relations of the visceral surface of the liver. Okay, that's enough. Now we come to the lobes of the liver. So in this picture, we can see mainly anatomical lobes of the liver. So right lobe and left lobe. So how can you separate these two lobes, right and left lobes? How can we separate? Here we see anteriorly right and left lobes both are separated by attachment of falciform ligament. Posteriorly, these two lobes are separated by fissure for ligamentum teres and also fissure for ligamentum venosum. So this is the picture. In this picture, we can see the two fissures. One is the with the arrow I'm showing. You see, one is the fissure for ligamentum venosum. Another one is the fissure for ligamentum teres. So above one is the fissure for ligamentum venosum, and below one is the fissure for ligamentum teres. So this one is the left lobe and this one is the right lobe posteriorly. Anteriorly, both lobes are separated by attachment of falciform ligament. Apart these two, on the right lobe, we can see the sublobes. That is the one is the caudate lobe. You know it. In the posterior surface of the liver, we have seen it. This is the caudate lobe with the processes, papillary and caudate processes. This one is the caudate lobe. And whatever you see between the group for the gallbladder, fissure for ligamentum teres, in between the whatever you see this quadrangular part, this is the quadrate lobe. That means we can say anatomically lobes of the liver, these are the following lobes of the liver. left lobe, right lobe, caudate lobe, and quadrate lobe. So these are the lobes of the liver. Now we come to the peritoneal relations of the liver. So before we go to the peritoneal relations, once I revise the all the surfaces of the liver once again. So name the surfaces of the liver first of all.
Parietal and visceral.
Name the lobes surfaces: superior, right lateral,
Right.
anterior, posterior, inferior.
Inferior.
Totally how many lobes? How many surfaces? 5.
5 surface.
5. In this presentation, okay, I explained relations of these 5 surfaces and also importance and the importances for these 5 surfaces. So at least I mentioned one importance for each surface. So whatever I mentioned important features regarding these 5 surfaces, these are very, very important. Usually these are the oral questions, practical questions. Okay. First surface. What is the importance of first surface? Here, developmental importance we can see in the first surface. What is the developmental importance? Fibrous pericardium, central tendon of diaphragm, so non-secretory connective tissue of liver. These 3 are embryologically developed from septum transversum.
Transfer.
This is the oral question. Okay, that's why central tendon of diaphragm, bare area of liver, and fibrous pericardium. So in the dissectional, if you observe, these 3 are adhering to each other. It's very difficult to separate these 3 structures. What is the reason? These 3 are developed from the single source. That is the reason. Is it clear? So this is the practical question in the practical exam. So you know the relations of the superior surfaces, mainly diaphragm. Now we come to the next another surface. What is another surface?
Right lateral surface.
Lateral surface.
Very good. What are the relations of right lateral surface?
Lower border of lung. Costodiaphragmatic regions.
Mainly we can say 3 relations. Very good. Mainly 3 relations from above downwards. Right lung, costodiaphragmatic recess, 10th and 11th ribs. That's enough. These relations are very, very important. So what is the importance of right lateral surface?
Biopsy.
We collect the biopsy. So in which space we pass the needle?
9th interstitial space. 9th
Space. So without damaging the above structures, we can pass the needle in these spaces and collect the biopsy. So clinically, this surface and the relations of this surface are important. Okay, that's enough. Now we come to the anterior surface. So anterior surface mainly related to right and left costal margins. Here I mentioned one point. What is the importance of this anterior surface?
Hepatomegaly. Hepatomegaly.
In normal condition, liver should not extend beyond the right costal margin. If it extends beyond the right costal margin, that is enlargement of liver. Okay, that's enough. So this is the importance of anterior surface. Now posterior surface, these are the presenting features of the posterior surface. First one, bare area of the liver. This is the short notes question, already I told you. So borders, very, very important. So borders of the bare area of the liver. Then what is the importance of bare area of liver? Is the one of the
Portocaval.
Anastomosis between portal and systemic.
Next to hepatic veins are opening into the IVC. These are the important factors. Keep the liver in position. There is another one. So next one, caudate lobe of liver. So caudate lobe of liver, it forms the boundary for the epiploic foramen. And what is the another feature of the caudate lobe of liver? Importance feature. This is the oral question.
Covered by
Lesser.
lesser sac.
Covered by lesser sac. Rest of the liver is covered by greater sac. This is the
Greater
oral
sac.
question. Okay. Then fissure for ligamentum venosum. So ligamentum venosum is the remnant of here. Ligamentum venosum is the remnant of
Ductus venosus. Ductus venosus.
in fetal circulation we can see ductus venosus. So this is about the posterior surface. Now these are the impressions on the inferior surface or visceral surfaces: esophagus, stomach, duodenum, right colic flexure, renal. Okay, and these are the fissures on the inferior surface. So inferior surface of the liver. Okay, this is the short notes question from the liver. Usually in practical exam also examiner will ask you what are these impressions and names of the impressions also. Okay, that's enough. So you know the lobes of the liver. Here I explain only anatomical lobes. So physiological lobe. Okay, you study in the physiology. So anatomical lobes: right lobe, left lobe. So on the right lobe, what are the sublobes? Caudate lobe, quadrate lobe. So these are the lobes of the liver. Okay. Now we come to the relations of the liver. Which relations? Peritoneal relations. Okay. So peritoneal relations. So liver is the intraperitoneal organ. So whatever you see here, this list, these are the non-peritoneal areas on the liver. Non-peritoneal areas. The main important area, non-peritoneal area, that is the bare area of liver. We mentioned the boundaries of the bare area of the liver and importance also. And these are the remaining non-peritoneal layers of the areas of the liver. Okay. Now we come to the ligaments of liver. So in the ligaments, there are two types of ligaments: false ligaments, true ligaments. What is the difference between the false and true ligaments of the liver? What is the
Peritoneal.
differentiation between the-
Peritoneal.
Very good. So true ligaments are the real ligaments.
Duct.
False ligaments are formed by peritoneal folds. Anaga simple ga membranes ante. So false ligaments are peritoneal folds and true ligaments. So in this slide we can see the false and true ligaments. False ligaments are falciform ligament, coronary ligament, right triangular ligament, left triangular ligament, lesser omentum. So these are the false ligaments. So each one is the short notes question from the liver. So each one is the 3 marks question: falciform ligament, coronary ligaments, right triangular ligament, left triangular ligament, lesser omentum. Main important ligaments here: lesser omentum and falciform ligament. So you go through the peritoneal folds, very important folds or ligaments related to the liver. Now we come to the true ligaments. So true ligaments are the embryological remnants: ligamentum teres hepatis, ligamentum venosum. You know it. So ligamentum venosum is the embryological remnant of
Ductus venosus.
so ligamentum teres and hepatis is embryological remnant of
Left umbilical.
very good,
Umbilical
excellent. Left umbilical vein. So teres is the remnant of left umbilical vein. Ligamentum venosum is the remnant of ductus venosus. Okay, so these are the ligaments of the liver. So in this picture we can see the ligaments of the liver. So with the arrow I'm showing the ligaments here. You see, this is the falciform ligament, and this is the coronary ligament, and this free margin, this end, right triangular ligament, this free margin, this end, this is the left triangular ligament. Okay, so in this picture what ligaments we can see? Mainly lesser omentum. This is the lesser omentum with its contents, and right free margin we can see here. This is the lesser omentum. And also we can see here ligamentum teres in the inferior surface, ligamentum teres between the right and left lobes of the liver. So in this picture also again we can see this is the ligamentum venosum, this is the ligamentum teres below that we can see. So this is about the liver. So do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
You simply just you go through this one mainly. Okay. So you can see the number of the short notes question in the lever, 3 marks and 5 marks questions. So 3 marks questions are ligaments or folds related to the lever, lesser momentum, calciform ligament, ligamentum teres, and bare area of lever with coronary ligaments. These are the short notes questions. And 5 marks questions are visceral surface of lever. Okay, these are 5 marks questions. And if you see the lever, we can see the number of oral questions from the lever. Okay, you know it. Okay, in the related to superior surface, septum transversum, 3 structures are derived. Related to right lateral surface, that is the collection point, that the surface is preferred for the collection of the lever biopsy, which surface and what are the relations I mentioned. In the posterior surface, we have seen the so many features, bare area of lever and its clinical important. Group for inferior vena cava and its hepatic veins, they give main supports. And group for the ligamentum venosum, we have seen in the posterior surface. And inferior surface is related to number of viscera, short notes question. And anterior surface usually should not extend beyond the right costal margin. If you palpate it beyond that, that is the enlargement of the lever. Okay. And also we have seen the ligaments and folds of the lever. So this is the briefly about the lever. So do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Shall we end the session?
Yes, sir.
By the way, you know the blood supply of the liver. That's why I didn't mention celiac trunk and its branches. Venous drainage, that also you know, hepatic veins. Okay, that's why I didn't mention. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank